Good morning, everyone. Let me start with a question. Have you ever seen an elderly person walking alone, slow steps, eyes down, no smile, and thought, at least they're staying active? Well, what if I told you that walking alone might actually make you age faster after 71? Yes, you heard that right. You. The simple act of walking without company could silently add years to your biological age. And today, I'll tell you 5 hidden reasons why. The first reason is that loneliness weakens the heart, and this goes far deeper than most people realize. When seniors walk alone, they may think they're doing something wonderful for their heart. And in one way, they are. Physical movement helps blood circulation, strengthens the muscles, and keeps the joints flexible. But what often goes unnoticed is the emotional strain of being alone. You see, the heart doesn't only respond to exercise, it responds to emotions. When a person walks without companionship, the silence can trigger feelings of emptiness or isolation, even if only subtly. Over time, that quiet loneliness begins to affect the body's chemistry. The brain releases higher levels of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, chemicals that prepare the body for fight or flight. But when these stress levels stay high for too long, they start doing damage. They tighten blood vessels, raise blood pressure, and make the heart work harder than it should. Medical studies have shown that loneliness can be as harmful to your heart as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It might sound extreme, but that's the truth. Isolation literally breaks the heart, little by little. On the other hand, walking with a friend or loved one has the opposite effect. When you talk, laugh, or even just walk side by side, your brain releases endorphins, the body's natural painkillers and mood boosters. These hormones relax blood vessels, lower stress, and improve heart rhythm. The heartbeat becomes steadier, and circulation flows more freely. There's also a fascinating connection between companionship and the rhythm of the heart. When two people walk and talk together, their breathing and heartbeat often begin to synchronize. It's as if the body recognizes the comfort of company and begins to relax into it. This natural harmony doesn't happen when you walk alone. Your body may move, but your heart misses the emotional rhythm that keeps it young. So even though walking is healthy, walking in isolation may rob you of one of its greatest benefits, the healing power of connection. The heart isn't just a pump. It's an emotional organ that thrives on love, laughter, and human presence. When you share your walk with someone else, you share energy, joy, and a sense of belonging, all of which are just as vital for heart health as exercise itself. In short, the heart doesn't only age from time, it ages from loneliness. Walking alone may keep your legs strong, but walking with someone keeps your heart alive. The second reason is that your mind slows down without conversation, and this truth is both fascinating and a little frightening. The human brain is like a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger and sharper it becomes. But just like muscles weaken from lack of exercise, the brain, too, can become sluggish when it isn't challenged. After the age of 71, keeping the mind active becomes just as important as keeping the body moving. And that's where the difference between walking alone and walking with someone truly matters. When you walk alone, your mind often drifts into quiet repetition, counting steps, watching traffic, or thinking about the past. There's nothing wrong with that, of course, but it doesn't stretch your mental ability. It's a passive activity. On the other hand, when you walk with someone, your brain lights up in multiple areas at once. You talk, listen, recall names, share memories, and process emotions, all at the same time. This kind of social engagement activates the language centers, memory circuits, and emotional regulation areas of the brain. In other words, a simple conversation during a walk becomes a powerful mental workout. Scientists have found that social interaction can slow cognitive decline and even reduce the risk of diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's. Every time you talk, laugh, or share a thought, your brain releases neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which help form new connections between brain cells. These connections strengthen the pathways that control memory, attention, and creativity. Without that stimulation, these pathways can weaken over time, leading to forgetfulness, slower thinking, and reduced alertness. Think of it this way. Walking with someone is like feeding your brain a healthy meal, full of mental nutrients. Walking alone, in silence, is like skipping that meal. You might not notice the hunger at first, but eventually, the brain feels the emptiness. Conversation also improves focus. When you engage in dialogue, your mind has to listen, respond, and stay present. This sharpens mental flexibility, your ability to switch between ideas and adapt to new topics. Older adults who maintain regular social contact tend to score higher on cognitive tests and show better emotional stability. The reason is simple. The brain is being challenged and rewarded at the same time. Walking with a partner also boosts creativity. Many great ideas and solutions appear during walks, not just because movement increases blood flow to the brain, but because talking helps organize thoughts. Sharing your ideas aloud forces you to think clearly, and hearing another perspective opens new pathways of understanding. It's like giving your brain fresh air. In contrast, walking alone too often can quietly lead to mental stagnation. Without interaction, the mind may wander aimlessly or dwell on worries, leading to stress and mental fatigue. Over time, this lack of stimulation can dull the sharpness that keeps life interesting and meaningful. So while walking alone may seem peaceful, walking with a companion nourishes the brain in ways silence cannot. The rhythm of footsteps combined with conversation is more than movement. It's connection, learning, and life flowing together. When you share words, you share energy, and that energy keeps your mind young. The third reason is that motivation drops, and so does movement, when you walk alone. It might sound simple, but motivation is one of the strongest forces that keep people healthy, active, and young, especially after the age of 71. When you walk with someone, there's a natural sense of energy and encouragement that helps you move farther, faster, and more often. But when you walk alone, that energy fades, and slowly, so does your drive to keep going. Let us face it. It asks human nature to do better when someone is beside us. Think about it. When two people walk together, there's gentle competition, friendly conversation, and mutual support. One might say, "Let's go just a little farther," or "We've done well today." Those small words of encouragement make a big difference. They create a sense of accountability, a feeling that someone is counting on you to show up and move. That's what keeps people consistent. However, when you walk alone, that sense of accountability disappears. If you wake up feeling tired or lazy, there's no one to remind you, "Come on, let's walk." It becomes easier to skip a day, then another, until walking turns from a routine into an occasional effort. Studies have shown that older adults who exercise with a friend or in groups are far more likely to stick to their fitness routines than those who go solo. Companionship builds consistency, and consistency is the true secret behind healthy aging. Walking with a partner also improves the quality of the exercise. When you walk and talk, your pace naturally adjusts to a more steady rhythm, your steps lengthen, and your posture improves. You might not notice it, but friendly conversation distracts your mind from physical fatigue. You walk longer distances without feeling bored or tired. The shared laughter or discussion makes the walk enjoyable rather than a task. And when something feels enjoyable, you're far more likely to repeat it. In contrast, solo walking often lacks excitement. Many seniors who walk alone report that they feel unmotivated or bored after a while. Without conversation or companionship, the mind may wander into worries or fatigue faster. Some even shorten their routes or walk at a slower pace without realizing it. Over time, this reduced effort can lead to weaker muscles, less stamina, and a slower metabolism, all of which contribute to faster aging. There's also an emotional side to motivation. When you walk with someone, you share not only physical movement, but emotional connection. You talk about your day, your family, your memories, and that emotional sharing gives a sense of purpose. You feel seen, valued, and alive. Walking becomes more than exercise, it becomes a joyful ritual. On the other hand, walking alone can sometimes feel mechanical. You're just moving your feet, without any spark or emotional lift. Without joy, even healthy habits can fade. And once motivation weakens, physical decline often follows quietly. So, walking with a friend or a group isn't just about company. It is about energy, encouragement, and emotional balance. The truth is, motivation thrives in connection. Every shared step, every laugh, and every conversation gives strength not only to your legs, but to your willpower. When you walk together, you don't just move, you keep moving. The fourth reason is that emotional health declines in silence, and this is one of the most overlooked causes of faster aging among seniors. We often talk about food, exercise, and medicine when it comes to staying healthy after 71, but we rarely talk about feelings. Yet, emotions are just as important as vitamins and exercise for longevity. When seniors walk alone too often, they may not notice how much silence starts to affect their mood and overall well-being. Human beings are deeply social by nature. From the time we are children, our minds and hearts grow stronger through interaction, through conversation, laughter, and simple human presence. Even in older age, this need never disappears. In fact, it becomes even more essential. Emotional connection acts like fuel for the spirit, keeping the heart light and the mind positive. When that connection is missing, loneliness quietly takes its place. Walking alone might seem peaceful at first. The quiet streets, the rhythm of footsteps, and the gentle breeze can feel relaxing. But over time, the silence can grow heavy. Without anyone to talk to, thoughts often turn inward, sometimes to worries, regrets, or memories that bring sadness. The mind begins to focus on loss rather than life. That kind of emotional weight triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which, when produced over long periods, speed up cellular aging. The skin loses its glow, energy levels drop, and sleep becomes restless. Loneliness doesn't just hurt the heart, it changes the body from the inside out. When you walk with a friend, something beautiful happens. You share stories, exchange laughter, or simply enjoy each other's company without saying much. These small interactions release happy hormones like serotonin and endorphins, which lift the mood, reduce anxiety, and lower stress. They also strengthen the immune system, helping the body fight off illness. Emotional happiness is not just a feeling, it's a form of healing. Studies have shown that seniors who maintain regular social contact tend to live longer and experience fewer health problems. Emotional connection acts as a protective shield. It reduces the risk of depression, improves brain function, and keeps motivation alive. When you walk with someone, even for a short while, you feel seen, understood, and valued. And those feelings are powerful medicine for the soul. On the other hand, seniors who spend too much time in isolation often experience emotional numbness. They may stop looking forward to daily activities or lose interest in things they once enjoyed. This emotional emptiness can lead to fatigue and faster cognitive decline. The absence of social connection removes one of the most important joys of life, the joy of being with others. In the end, emotional health is not just about smiling. It's about feeling connected, supported, and alive. Walking with someone adds warmth to your steps and joy to your journey. Companionship fills the silence with laughter and purpose. When hearts connect, the spirit feels younger, and that youthfulness shows in every part of the body. The truth is simple. Emotional strength keeps the body strong, and shared happiness keeps the years from showing. The fifth reason is that no one is there to notice the small warning signs when you walk alone. And this perhaps is one of the most serious risks that come with solitary walking after the age of 71. As we grow older, our bodies change in subtle ways. Strength decreases, balance becomes more delicate, and stamina can vary from day to day. These changes are natural, but they also mean that seniors need a little extra care and awareness during physical activity. When you walk alone, there's no one to spot those small but important signs that something might be wrong. For example, imagine a senior who begins to feel dizzy, short of breath, or lightheaded during a walk. When walking alone, they may ignore these signals, thinking, "I'll be fine," or "it's nothing." But these early warnings can sometimes indicate heart strain, dehydration, low blood sugar, or other health concerns. If there's no one beside you, even a minor stumble or fainting spell could become dangerous. Something as simple as uneven pavement or fatigue could lead to a fall, and when no one is nearby to help, that situation can quickly turn serious. When you walk with someone, that risk changes entirely. A walking partner can immediately notice if your breathing becomes heavy, if your pace slows, or if your posture shifts. They might ask, "Are you feeling okay?" or "Let's rest for a moment." That simple awareness can prevent a major problem. Companionship acts as a safety net, not only emotionally but physically. It provides real-time monitoring that even the most careful senior can't always do for themselves. Beyond safety, companionship also creates a sense of reassurance. When someone walks beside you, your mind relaxes. You know that if anything happens, you're not alone. That peace of mind reduces anxiety and allows you to enjoy the walk fully. Emotional security is a form of protection, too. Stress and fear can raise blood pressure and strain the heart, while calmness and trust help the body stay balanced and strong. There's another important aspect: awareness of gradual changes. Friends or family members who walk with you regularly may notice patterns you might not. They might observe, "You seem more tired these days," or "You've been stopping to rest more often." These small observations can lead to early medical checkups that catch issues before they become serious. Many health conditions, such as heart disease, diabetes, or balance problems, develop slowly. Having someone to notice those changes can make a big difference in treatment and recovery. On the other hand, walking alone too often can hide these early warning signs. Many seniors pride themselves on independence, and that is a wonderful thing. But independence doesn't mean isolation. Being independent also means being wise enough to accept support when needed. So, walking with someone is not only about sharing laughter or conversation, it's also about safety, care, and awareness. Companionship can literally save lives. It ensures that if something goes wrong, help is immediately available, and if something small begins to change, it doesn't go unnoticed. In the journey of aging, awareness and connection are the best guardians. When someone walks beside you, they don't just share your path. They help protect your health, your confidence, and your years ahead.